Hey, Fragrance family, I'm David.
I'm Jer.
We're the Fragrance Bros,
man.
Coming at you this time with a special review.
Yes.
This time it is on the one and only Sombre Negra.
I'm so excited about this review.
Yeah.
Yes.
By YOSH.
YOSH.
Now, of course, we had a giveaway recently because we did a kind of, it wasn't really a first impressions. Well, I guess it was, but we talked about her whole line.
Yeah.
And did kind of a spotlight overview. Kind of did a spotlight on YOSH as a line. And spoilers, we love it.
Yes.
So we'll have a link up here and a link down below to see that video if you really want. And there was also a giveaway in there, which we've given away all the YOSH samples, and then we also had some sample sets that we gave away as well. And that one really really well. Had a little feedback. Yeah. Actually, a couple of them went to reviewers. Yeah. So that was pretty cool. And we maybe see some reviews from them sometime soon.
Yeah, guys, please, if you like them, please give this house attention because it is fantastic.
It really is fantastic. It is definitely worth time. Yeah. At least just to smell it. But I think there is something in here for everyone.
Yeah, totally.
I think it's also worth mentioning too, before we get into it, that in 2010, this fragrance came out in 2011. So date introduces 2011, but in 2010, she actually had a different version of this. Oh. So it's like a pre-version of Sombre Negra, and then she changed it. Really? So the version that everyone smells now is the current version, and she had a different version with different notes in it before.
I'd like to smell that one.
So yeah, if you actually go on Fragrantica, it actually has a different set of notes than on like Lucky Scent.
Wow.
So,
okay, so this is for the version that you'll get if you buy it.
Currently.
If you bought it.
Yeah.
Buy it.
Yeah, buy it.
Alabama. Cut me slack. All right.
So yeah.
Okay.
I don't even think that's available anymore. I mean, if you bought it then, you could probably get it. But, yeah. So yeah. Okay. So date introduced, of course, is 2011. Yeah. Fragrance is classified as a woody oriental. Notes are vetiver, patchouli, cedar, olibanum or frankincense, pink pepperberry, black peppercorn, clove, juniper berry, citrus, nutmeg, cumin, tonka, and orris root. What'd you get out of longevity about it?
Man, this stuff lasts. I mean, could you guess any different by hearing that note list? Mother of Gad. It lasts forever on me. Like 14 hours.
Wow.
Seriously, dude. Not you?
I got excellent. I didn't get beast, but I got excellent. Okay. What about projection?
It's excellent on the projection. I don't know if it's beast mode, but man, you're going to smell it all day. Yeah. And not like smell it. I'm talking about moving around and it's just getting up in your face. Yeah. It is really good. Totally.
Yeah, I got excellent projection as well. Yeah. Season is probably fall and winter and nights mostly, but I think it can be used on maybe like a cool spring day or night.
Yeah, totally.
Occasion is probably best for formal and date.
Yeah.
Formal mostly, but date also.
Totally.
And what does this remind you of?
Man, I don't even, okay, where do I begin? I've said before, it gives me a little bit of the Aventus feel. There's no pineapple, there's no brightness, this is dark and dirty and gritty. But some of that smokiness is the comparison I'm making. You hear those notes and you get an idea. The vetiver, patchouli, like the pepper and that sort of thing. I don't really smell cumin or nutmeg. It's well blended, so it's hard to pick out individual things. Yeah. But what you're gonna get when you smell this is like this, I mean like dark, dirty, black suit, leather jacket. I don't know, it is masculine, dude. Yeah. And it is butch and it is awesome. And I don't know if it reminds me of anything in particular, but that's just the feel that I get, is that it's just, I mean, I feel like a man when I wear this. Yeah. I feel like a man's man, you know what I mean? It's just very masculine and very, it's going to come across like to other people as, I think, not aggressive necessarily, but confident, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I think you need to be confident if you wear this. This is not a wallflower fragrance. You used that term before. Yeah. This is I want to be noticed, I want to be smelled. Totally. I'm walking in this room and owning this mother kind of fragrance. I remember Mark did a review of Encre Noir, and he talked about it in those same terms. I get the same kind of vibe. I agree with him about that. And this is kind of the same thing where he said, when I wear this, I feel like I own the room, is what he said. So same way. It's the same feel for me, you know.
Yeah, I know. Of course, I love this fragrance as well. Yeah. At the top of this fragrance, you get kind of a fleeting citrus note. Yeah. And fleeting. Yeah, it's very fleeting. And then it goes coupled with a really strong clove note. And I think to many, this is going to be the turn-off factor right here, the clove, because the clove lasts a while, and you know, we talked about this in our Musgrave Azure video, because we don't like clove as a note. and that clove note and muscovy lasted a while.
Yeah.
And then once it got out of that clove note, it was better.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost like the clouds parted and the sun's back, you know.
Yeah, it's like you're checking your watch. Like,
yeah,
how many hours do I have left of this freaking clove note?
That's right. That's right. Plan your day. Wear muscovy azure 2 hours before you go anywhere.
Yep.
And then you'll be fine.
Yeah, you're good.
But yeah, I kind of feel like this is the same thing because, you know, we talk really highly about this fragrance. And I do think this is a masterpiece. I really think this is amazing.
Yes.
But when someone smells this for the first time, they're going to smell that clove and they're going to smell everything else.
Yeah.
And they may be turned off by
That's true.
it because it's a really coarse fragrance.
It is.
But that's what I like about it. Because there's some, you know, it's the opposite of Jean-Claude Ellena's work. You know what I'm saying?
It is.
Like Jean-Claude Ellena is very refined. It almost reminds me of like a thin blade.
Yeah.
You know, it's like very elegant.
Yeah.
And this is like a saw.
It's like a fencing sword versus like a broadsword.
Exactly. Exactly right. Yeah. One is just for chopping someone's head off.
Yeah.
The other one is for, you know,
like, you know,
really like needlework or something. But yeah. I don't know why I went to bloody analogies about this. But
because we're dudes, this is a dude fragrance.
Because it's manly.
Man!
But anyway, but once it dries down, after that clove note, then it turns into something really magical.
Yeah.
And the main players I think here are the patchouli, the vetiver, the black pepper, and the olibanum or frankincense. Those are what I mainly get out of this. I think there's some other ones in there like the spices that kind of add some flavor to it.
There.
But those are the main players, especially the patchouli and pepper.
Yeah.
I you know, actually, almost want to say all of those are kind of mixed equally.
They are. It makes an accord. It makes a scent. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But it is really, really nice. If you like patchouli, this has a really excellent patchouli note in here.
Yes.
If you don't like patchouli, this has a really excellent patchouli note in here.
This might change your mind.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, those four, they're blended very well. So if you don't like one of those, you can find something else to like in this.
Yeah.
This fragrance is called Black Shadow in Spanish. I think that's the perfect explanation of this because it really connotes this really dark presence.
Mysterious.
And like I said, mysterious. It really is kind of, like I said, it's more coarse, it's very manly, it's very rugged.
Yeah.
You know, I really get the impression, what this reminds me of, I think his name is Daryl from Walking Dead. The guy that you don't really like, but he kind of warms up to you a little bit. You know, you kind of like, you don't know what his allegiances are, but you like it.
Yeah.
And you know, he has a black leather jacket and he drives this Harley or this chopper. You know,
right.
And he gets a girl. He's a bad boy.
He's a bad A with a crossbow.
Exactly. So he reminds me of that. This reminds me of the bad boy.
Yeah.
You know, so you might want to wear this if you want to feel like that.
Yeah.
Or, you know, if you are that.
Yeah.
So
totally. You know, one image I get when I smell this is like gravel.
Yeah.
Gravel, like hot gravel, you know what I mean? And like a cape and like half beard. You know what I mean? Just I don't know, just all these masculine images come to mind. It's very interesting, but I agree. I think that it has a bad boy feeling, and this is one of those fragrances, and it's a select group for me. It's not very many that make me feel a certain way.
Yeah.
I mean, they change my my demeanor and change the way that I'm feeling that day. It really is influential.
Yeah.
And it is great. But I agree with you. The opening is pretty harsh, and you got to give it a chance. And when you talk about clove, I do want to clarify that if you've smelled the clove and muscovy azure, it's not what the same thing here.
Right.
Like that's couched in that vanilla thing. You know what I mean? This is couched amidst other harsh notes.
Yeah.
So it's going to come off two very different ways.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. It's not as clear
Yeah.
a clove note as muscovy is.
Right. You're just going to, but the same harsh feeling is going to come.
Yeah, it does have a medicinal feeling at the time.
It does. But I encourage you to give it a chance.
Yeah, absolutely.
Give it a chance. Give this a full wearing, and you'll see. We actually, a Silver Plunk, he was one of the ones that got one, and he wrote to us and said in the opening that he didn't understand what the hype was.
Yeah.
But once the dry down came, then he got it.
Yep.
So you got to give it a chance to appreciate this whole thing because it will change.
Yeah.
It will. It's not linear. It will change for you a little bit. It's kind of linear, but it'll change.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So.
Yeah, you know, I think this is one of those fragrances that is kind of polarizing. I think there are going to be people who absolutely just die for this fragrance, that love it. Yeah, like we do.
Yeah.
We absolutely love this fragrance. Then I think there are others who are going to think, what the bleepity bleep is that guy wearing?
Yeah.
Because I think that other people are going to absolutely hate it.
Yeah.
But what I love about that is that it makes someone feel a certain way.
Yes.
And that is what I really love about this fragrance, is even if you love it or you hate it, you still feel something about this fragrance. Yeah. And that to me says a lot about the composition of a fragrance. When you can make someone feel a particular way.
Absolutely.
And make a statement that bold. And that, I think that's a perfect word for this. This is a bold fragrance.
It is.
And but yeah, I think that's I think this is very polarizing. Bang for buck, that's $130 for a 50 ml. For niche, that's a little average for the common person that is looking to, for the common consumer that is looking to save $1. That seems high.
It does.
And I can understand that.
Yeah.
For 50 ml, that is a little high. However, this is a statement maker. To me, that is, I mean, I loved every part of this fragrance.
Yeah.
And I think it's worth it.
Yeah. It's, if you extrapolate that to 100 ml, it's in the YOSH price range.
Right.
The Tom Ford price range. So it is it's expensive. But I can't think of any other fragrance I've smelled that does what this does. Even closely. Like, this is pretty unique to me.
It's very unique.
So for that fact alone, and because it has great projection, great longevity, I think it's a good bang for the buck. I'm willing to pay that for this.
Yeah.
And I don't know, there's something special about YOSH, just as a person and her house. I mean, she's engaged in the community.
Yep.
And I just think that I think we ought to support our own. I'll just say that. And I'm not saying that you should buy this just to support her. I think it's worth it.
Yeah.
I think it's worth it. But if you already feel that way, it's good to support your own.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you have compliments out of this?
My wife likes it, but you're spot on about the polarizing thing. To me, this thing may not smell good to everyone, but I think it commands respect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
Like, no one S with Daryl from The Walking Dead.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Because you'll know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like that. It's like, you may not like it, but you don't just go insulting it. So it's kind of like that. I love it, but I think that some people may not. But I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Because it's not like it stinks. You know what I mean? It smells great.
Yeah.
It's just may not be some people's cup of tea or whatever.
Yeah. I kind of wonder how women like this, because my wife hates it as well. I mean, she hates it.
Wow.
Granted, she smelled it within like the first hour or so there's that clove note still hanging on.
Yeah.
So, but, yeah, so I don't know how women are going to respond to this. I didn't get many comments outside of that, because I didn't get to wear it out like I usually do. But my wife doesn't really care for it at all. She said I smell like a granddad.
Really?
Probably the clove again. The clove kind of elicits that.
It does kind of evoke that image of like a man's lodge with like pelts on the ground.
Like pelts on the ground.
Like pelts on the ground. Like a bison head mounted on the wall or something like that. I can see that, I guess.
Yeah. Final rating.
5 out of 5. No surprise. This is a special fragrance that holds a dear place in my heart. It's going to be, if we ever do a top 20 or whatever for each one, this will be there. I think it's great. It's unique, and it lasts a long time. It's awesome. 5 out of 5. I couldn't ask for anything more.
Yeah, I'm going to have to say the same thing. 5 out of 5. Even though it has that clove in there that I don't particularly love, I still like it in the composition of the fragrance. Yeah. And even though my wife absolutely hates it, I still love this fragrance. And I do think it is really something special.
Yeah.
This is an alpha male scent. This is totally alpha male scent.
Totally.
It is smoky, rugged, and masculine. I mean, it's just amazing. I think this is really worth it in any person's collection.
Yeah.
And that's it.
That's it.
That's all. YouTube, let us know what you think of Sombre Negra by YOSH. Have you smelled it? Do you like it? Do you love it? What do you think? And of course, if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel and like down below. We'll love you for it. We'll see you next week. We're the Fragrance Brothers. Bye.
Bye.